WTOL 11 Sports presents Big Board Friday, sponsored by Ohio Northern University. Your dreams await. And by Charlie's Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Doing it different, doing it right. By Frickers, the home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. By PT Link Physical Therapy. Feel the difference and get relief now. By Renewal by Anderson. Anderson Window Muscle. Local 419 Hustle. By Absolute Mobile Glass. Nobody does it better. Nobody does it faster. Absolutely. And by Schrader Tire and Oil. We keep the transportation industry rolling and safe. Now, here's Tyler Segerman.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the encore that is Week 2 of Big Board Friday, sponsored by Ohio Northern University. Pleased to have you along for the action as we've got a full slate tonight, more than a dozen games to highlight, plus Play of the Night and Fan Cam. We begin with a matchup that has become a constant in the local non-league schedule. St. John's against Anthony Wayne, programs who have played in Week 2 for the last 6 years, aside from the COVID season. So familiar these two are with one another. Generals have had the edge of late, winning the last 3 meetings, but coming off a tough loss in Week 1. First half winding down, Anthony Wayne driving. Porter Brungar going to step up in the pocket. He'll fire to the end zone, and check out the catch from Cam Miller, who gets both feet down. Generals take a 21-10 lead at the break. Titans, though, would come out strong. Here's Sam Harshman getting the carry, turns it up into the end zone for the score. That puts the game within 4. Third quarter now, Titans again with the ball. Coy Hammock going to find Caden Zoller, who catches it in stride. St. John's all of a sudden coming back. They have the lead. Finally, Anthony Wayne looking to retake it and seal the deal. Here's Brungard looking back and goes back to Roman Morrison, who's wide open. He'll stroll into the touchdown, and that would be the game winner. Generals win a thriller, 28-24. Anthony Wayne gets win number 1. Here's Chase Bachman.
Tyler, this game was about a 3-hour marathon that went back and forth, and obviously it ended late. You can see it's pitch black behind me here at Schaller Stadium, but in the end, Anthony Wayne came up with some huge stops and got a critical 28-24 win over St. John's. They go to 1-1 on the year and get a much-needed win for the 2025 season.
I don't know that we cleaned up mistakes from last week, but we were a lot more resilient. We really had to fight till the very end. We were down in the fourth quarter, came back to take the lead, and then had to make a fourth down stop. So, yeah, I mean, I just like that we were resilient tonight and proved that we had some grit. I'd be remiss if I talked about the effort Roman gave, because his effort was incredible. But you go down the list of guys of Braden Cole and Mason Taylor and Jathan Volts and Kim Miller and Eli Dott. I don't want to leave anybody off, but we have so many guys that are just giving everything they have every night on a Friday, and just proud of everything they had tonight.
Just resilience, you know, we practice every day. You know, we got the culture here, Anthony Wayne. We're tough, and we proved that tonight.
Anthony Wayne goes back on the road because next week they play at Napoleon. But until then, reporting from Schaller Stadium, Chase Bachman, WTOL 11. Tyler.
Thank you, Chase. In Detroit, Central Catholic taking part in the Amazon Prep Kickoff Classic. They're matching up with the number 1 ranked team in Michigan, Kaz Tech. Central Catholic would grab the lead early with a touchdown by Jeremiah Fuller. Just 9 minutes to go in the first quarter, so just really 3 minutes into the game. Then the Irish from that catch right there going to add to the lead. Amari Eliano making it 13-0 with that spectacular grab. Again, this is just the first quarter. Central, though, would finish out the second quarter with another touchdown. Here's Ali Beydoun going right to your screen. Quarterback keeper, that's nice. 21-7, the Irish would lead at the break, but Kaz Tech comes all the way back and would pull off the win, 28-27 in a thriller. Central Catholic Irish fall tonight in Detroit.
First half, we were on fire a little bit. Wasn't able to get it going the second half a little bit, and couldn't recover with that. And they grabbed the momentum, and we had a chance at the end, but we just weren't able to finish it off. Some things went against us, and the kids still kept fighting. Well, there being little things matter. I'm disappointed in myself right now. Very proud of our kids, and I need to find something to give them a chance to win there at the end.
Sticking with Michigan versus Ohio, Whitmer squaring off with King in another powerhouse matchup. Panthers haven't been 2-0 since 2019. Didn't look good early on, down 20-7 at the break, but Jalonta Price helping the defense crashing the Crusaders pass game there with a tackle. Then the very next play, Tim Petaway comes flying into your screen. He'll lock onto the QB. Down he goes for the sack, and the home team in business. Fourth quarter, still a two-possession game. Joey Morales getting the number called. He'll break free down the sideline thanks to some great blocks. Unable to take it the distance, however, as Whitmer goes on to fall by a final of 32-7. Let's head south now, shall we? Perrysburg aiming for a 2-0 start, hitting the road for the first time this season. The battle with Olentangy, first half winding down. Olentangy up 7-0, but not for long. Here is Lucas Pollock taking it all the way himself. Direct snap, he's gone, and just like that, we are tied up. Second quarter now, Perrysburg back on offense, and here is Pollock again, going down to Dominic Woods. There in the sun, doesn't matter. He's got the catch. Yellow Jackets now on the board, but would trail at the half. But so the defense coming alive. Here's a great play by Ian Hall there, laying out for the interception. And then here's, I believe this is Brady Maxwell, not Pollock, so I apologize. There's Maxwell beating the pylon, getting the turn in the corner, and getting the points. But Perrysburg would fall in a close one, 28-20 tonight.
A game that came down to the wire and was sealed by a pass interference call, but head coach Dirk Connor said at the end of the day, that doesn't matter, and his guys should have taken advantage of more opportunities they had. Even despite that, he's proud of the way they fought and looks forward to them not wanting to have this feeling again this season.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that went on right there, and the bottom line is the times we had opportunities to do what we should do, we didn't take advantage of it. I don't care what happened on that last drive or anything like that. And I love my kids. I love the way these guys fight, man. But we have to clean some stuff up, and I have to do a better job coaching and being prepared. Third quarter was just a mess in 50 different ways, and so we got to make sure in the big ones that we're prepared for that. But I'm really happy with the physicality, really happy with the way our guys just persevere and keep pushing. And we're going to win a whole bunch of games, and we're going to keep getting better. And you know, I can't wait to play in some more like this one right here.
Perrysburg is now 1-1 on the season and will look to get back in the win column when they host Fremont Ross next week. But for now, reporting from Olentangy High School, Noelle Blumel, WTOL 11.
Thank you, Noelle. League matchup in Sylvania, Northern Lakes League matchup rather. Springfield coming off an impressive victory last week. Could the Devils double it up? Well, the answer would be quickly yes. Already up 7-0 when a bad snap here for the Northview punter forces him to kick it out of bounds. Smart move there, but it still results in a safety. Later, Springfield now on offense. Fourth down, they go for it. Logan Goodrick with the play fake, and he's going to find himself a wide open touchdown. There he is to add on to the lead. And then after another Northview turnover, the Devils would strike once more. This time it's Gabe Gregory punching it in from short distance. Springfield goes on to roll by the final of 44-10. They're now 2-0 on the season. Across town in Oregon, a former NLL Cardinal Division matchup between Southview and Clyde. That's because the Eagles, if you remember, are now moved up into the Buckeye Division. And it would be the Eagles getting on the board first. Landon Eccleberry surveying, finds Carter Wallenczak, who then beats the defender and sprints for the score. Eagles on top quickly. Southview, though, would respond. Here is Jackson Hesse breaking out of the sack. Check out this effort. And then has the wherewithal to look downfield, fire a dart to his wide receiver, Mo MacArthur, to get the Cougars within business. No points, however, on the drive, so Clay back on offense. But the defense, Deidreon Loggins with the strip sack there for Southview. But it's Clay in a low-scoring affair getting the victory tonight, 14-0 via the shutout. Trojans of Findlay looking for win number 1 of the season. Stephen Adams and company in Lima tonight. Third quarter, we picked this one up after a muffed punt. Here, the Trojans make it 10-7 thanks to Miles Bailey there for the touchdown. Then it's Findlay essentially sealing the deal here. Lance Miller with the handoff. He's going to go 59 yards to the end zone, taking the heart out of the Spartans there with a dagger. Trojans go on to get the win 17-7 there in Lima. It's now time for our fan cam. Let's take a look at tonight's submissions. Up first, the Evergreen student section, holding up fat heads for a pair of their seniors, Bryce Bolger and Will Rutz. Thanks, Chris, for sending that in. How about Maumee? Great shot of long snapper Colin O'Neill. Underrated part of the game. He's also a senior. Appreciate that. And finally, let's head to Liberty Center, where we find Clapp Rowe showing support for, yes, another senior, Gabe Clapp. Awesome photo from Tigertown. We'll see those highlights pretty soon. And reminder, we do this every week, so be sure to send in your photos. And I mentioned it, Liberty Center is on deck. They were in a battle with Eastwood tonight. Plus, we got more games and play of the night, so stick around. More Big More is next. Thank you, Springfield cheerleaders. Welcome back. The Liberty Center Tigers are in the midst of quite a run. 36 consecutive wins in the regular season. Now, their ultimate goal is a return to Canton, which is why they added Eastwood to the schedule this season. A prominent program in their own right. Huge crowd on hand for this NBC NWOAL battle. First time, to my knowledge, these two programs were facing off. We picked this one up in the second quarter. Tigers on the move. Thomas Moeller taking the dive, and he'll find the end zone. That makes it 28-14 LC after the extra point. Eastwood, though, not afraid of the challenge. Tigers back on offense. They're going to line up the pass here, but it'll be picked off by Landon Weems, who gets Eastwood going there with a great turnover. Great play recognition as well. Doesn't result in anything, however. So Liberty Center would then try to get defense back on themselves here. They're going to force the turnover themselves. Ethan Gray with the force. Brady Ramlow with the recovery, and LC now set up at midfield. Very next drive, it's Kreinbrink here using the play action. Full in the safeties. It goes over the middle to Garrison Cruz, who walks in for 6. He had 4 touchdowns rushing as well on the night. Eastwood tried to keep it close, but to no avail. Liberty Center continues the streak. They get to win 48-14.
You know, our station reported today, actually, that Liberty Center had to put in new bleachers into their stadium because of the amount of people that want to come out and watch this Tiger football team. And who could blame them? Coming into tonight, they'd won 36 straight regular season games and 27 straight here on their home field. And once again, the Tigers come out with a win.
It's a great football community. It always has been. And they love their football, and you know, we try to do the best we can for them. We want to take care of the football. We had a turnover in the first half we'd like to clean up. We got to make plays on money downs, 3rd and 4th down. Early in the game, we didn't make plays when we had to and allowed them to score. And then our special teams were a little bit inconsistent tonight. We had some coverages that weren't good on kickoff, gave them a short field. But then we did some nice things as well. So we just want to be more consistent and clean up some of the mistakes.
Takes a good week of preparation and that starts with the coaches preparing us and having a scouting plan. And then we just come out here to execute. And I'm nothing without the guys blocking in front of me.
So the Tigers, they hit their home field once again in week 3 when the Otsego Black Knights roll into town. Here at Liberty Center, Steve Iwanek, WTOM 11.
Appreciate it, Steve. He also had this game down US 24. Napoleon hosting Maumee. Wildcats looking to get in the win column, but so are the Panthers. They also lost in week 1. So here we go. Ben Kubik's firing downfield to Eli Dotson for a 40-yard strike. That sets the Panthers up, and then later on, here they go with the jumbo set. Big Cohen Jones smashing his way into the end zone. That gets the first tally on the board, and Maumee has the lead. Wildcats, though, would go to work on the ensuing drive. Here's Kelby Parsons off the play action. He's going to show off the arm and check out the dime here to Paul Saucer in stride, 50 yards of the house, and it would be Napoleon who gets their first win of the year, defeating Maumee 21-14. Woodward fresh off making history, trying to once again accomplish a feat that hasn't been done in a while. That's beat Oak Harbor. And right off the get-go, they would get the ball here. Davier Watson, Johnny on the spot, falls on the kickoff there to start the game. Momentum, though, short-lived because OH's defense would stand strong. Garrett Perkins not giving any ground. Wallops the quarterback in the end zone for a safety. So now the offense goes to work. And Blake Nickel showcasing his agility and speed. 24 yards to pay dirt for the senior. Can't forget about the power either. Check it out. What a finish here. He had 3 touchdowns on the night. Oak Harbor cruises to a 45-14 victory. In West Toledo, Clyde and Stark continuing its long series. One of them would pick up its first victory of the year. And early on, the Spartans came to play. Tyrese Highsmith carrying the rock near the goal line, fights his way through to put the boys in green on top. Flyers, though, they got a good ground game as well. Adam Young racing up the hole. Check out the vision, making a couple cuts and then sprints toward the pylon for a 24-yard score. That pulls the game even. But the home team wouldn't let up. Under 30 seconds to play, Daniel Bunny Easter hopping the ball down to Marvon Thompson over the middle. He finishes with authority, and Stark would stay in front the rest of the night. They grab a big victory tonight, 30-13 over the Flyers. Play of the night we have now reached, and it comes your way from Northwood. Tyler Osley looking to the end zone. He finds John Sawyer for what heck of a catch in the end zone. I thought it was a tie-up initially, but take another look at this. Osley with a beautiful ball into the corner of the end zone, and then Sawyer with 2 hands showcasing the strength there to haul it in. Ty, I guess, goes the wide receiver. That is one heck of a catch regardless. Again, Northwood, those highlights are coming up later on in the show, but one last look here at the Sawyer's amazing 2-handed catch in traffic. That is definitely worthy for play of the night. Congratulations, sir. One final stoppage before we wrap the show up, and like I said, there are the highlights. There's the play once more, because why not? I love the catch. Let's show it again. Northwood plus Otsego and Tinora squared off. Those highlights on deck. Shout out to the Oak Harbor Marching Band. They were rocking and rolling all night long here in Toledo. Great presence, awesome sound, which I unfortunately messed up on, but at least you can see them in action. Good job tonight, guys. Well done, Oak Harbor. Welcome back. Well, for the first time in 4 seasons, Northwood football won its season opener. Rangers seeking to use that momentum toward another victory, this time at home. Lake, though, hasn't been too accommodating. The Flyers have won the past 2 meetings, both via shutout. Third quarter, we picked this one up in Tyler Osley looking for the end zone, and you saw this just moments ago. John Sawyer here on the receiving end, going up high with 2 hands and over the defender. He'll make the catch for one heck of a touchdown. That keeps the Rangers in front. Lake, though, would respond. Julian Rodriguez right up the middle. Check out the speed. 55-yard score there. He goes the distance. Lake, though, still down a touchdown, so they need a stop. Northwood would not give it to him. DeAndre Curry here finding a path thanks to his O-line for the touchdown. And in a shootout, Northwood moved the 2-0 on the season. 56-42. They get the victory tonight. Great lights as well. Tontogany we travel to now. Otsego looking to open the season with a 2-0 start themselves. They hosted Tinora this evening, and we picked this one up in the first quarter. Rams with the ball. Owen Farrell finds Owen Reynolds, who makes some nice moves on the defenders. There you go. Push that out of bounds there. And then later in the drive, it's Douglas Hattimer, falling in the end zone to put the Rams on board first. Knights, though, would respond in a big way. Keegan Hutton getting the toss. He's going to go one way and then makes a cut back, and then his speed is going to be gone. 69 yards to the house. Knights in a thriller tonight, 29-27 with the victory over Tinora. Well, that's going to do it for another edition of Big Board Friday, sponsored by Ohio Northern University. If you missed any of the highlights or want to rewatch the entire show again, WTOL.com and WTOL 11 Plus are your tickets. Appreciate all of you for tuning in tonight. Always a pleasure. Have a great rest of your evening and enjoy some college football this weekend. We'll be back for Week 3 next Friday. But until then, good night, everyone.